What is up, Cowboys Nation? Boy, Mike Tag here. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you're having a great weekend. Just want to remind you guys, man, if you're new checking out the Cowboys Cave and your boy Mike Tag, hit that subscribe, hit that like, share it with Cowboys Nation, spread the love. Definitely appreciate all the support. The channel's been growing and growing, and that is all to you guys. So definitely appreciate it. But chilling on the weekend, had a nice weekend, relaxed a little bit, didn't get a chance to do the live show this morning, so just wanted to drop a video and catching up on things, right? And I'm sure you guys might have seen it if you haven't. Rookie mini camp getting started, just quick little weekend, get these guys acclimated, get them accustomed to the star, get them used to the surroundings, used to the facilities and all that kind of good stuff. Got a chance to listen to Shotty in his press conference, and it's just something feels different with him. And I was a McCarthy fan, so I think McCarthy, I've been there, done that with him. I just think it's ran its course, but he wasn't really set up for success. And I think the thing with Shotty is fresh eyes, fresh perspective, and he just seems to be very. It's hard to say the words, but he demands a lot from his players, but he gets it. You could see he's well respected, and the things that he's doing, it's the little things. It's talking about when the players came in and sat down, moving them around. I know that seems silly, but it's getting them out of their comfort zone, because just like we do, man. When you go to a party, you kind of gravitate to your guys that you're friends with, or if you go to work and your lunchroom, you're usually hanging out with the same people that you're comfortable with. So getting this team together, I think is really, I think that's just a little step, but I think it's a big step. Changing the locker room around and where the players are lined up with each other, another little step. And one of the things, he had talked about is when he got this opportunity to be the head coach, he vowed he would not change. He's not going to change his personality. He's not going to change his expectations. He's not going to change his work ethic. He's not going to change his approach to coaching, because he's seen a lot of coaches in the past through his years do that, and it didn't work out well for him. So he's staying true to himself, and I think that's another good sign, because when you think about it, these guys have, most of them have been around Shotty, right? He's been here, 3 years. So if he comes in with this different approach and this different way, and he's acting different and he's doing all this stuff, it's kind of like what Michael Irvin said when this whole coaching search started is like, now you want to be different. Now you're going to talk different. Now you're everything has changed. What made it change? Because you got a title now, you want to look down or do things different. So I think that's refreshing, and I think that's going to go a long way with the veteran players and the core group that's been here, and then also with the rookies, because they all talk, right? And the coaching staff that the Cowboys have put together, I'm just saying it's really good. It's football focused, with Eberflus on defense. You got Clayton Adams, an offensive, coordinator mind, as the offensive coordinator, even though Shotty will be calling plays. Ken Dorsey, who's been in the league for a long time as a coach. Obviously, he's from the U, so I love me some Ken Dorsey. He helped get us a national championship. His mentality, his vision of what he sees, another good addition. And, it just goes down the line. Connor Riley, the offensive line coach, this is his first opportunity in NFL, coming from college. So it's a fresh eye. So you got a little bit of youth and you got some veterans, and, it comes together, and I'm just excited for this coaching staff and see what they can do. And the one thing that I've seen mostly, which I don't know if it's him or I don't know if maybe Jerry's starting to figure it out, but you don't see a lot of Jerry and Steven. They've been kind of quiet, and I think that's a great thing. Hopefully it stays that way. The only time I want to hear them talking is when they get us a veteran wide receiver. There's really none, not much left, because Moore just signed. So it is down to Keenan Allen and Cooper if they're going to do one. I've dropped a video on that last week, and that's really their only options, or they're just going to go with what they have. But listening to his press conference and listening to the expectations, the discipline, the accountability, everything that he's preaching or things that this team desperately needed? And you'd say, well, geez, Mike, he's been here on the staff, and what's going to change? And I think him being the leader, him being the voice, because like he said, he didn't agree with McCarthy on everything, but he respected McCarthy as a head coach, so he followed the path in the vision that Mike McCarthy had. He has his own vision. You kind of see it the way this draft was set up. You rebuilt that running game. You reinforced the offensive line. That's telling me, and we'll be dropping a video on the identity of this team is being established, and it's going to be physical, run the football, running to set up the pass, and giving Dak the best opportunity for success. It's never an opportunity for success to be high if you're asking Dak Prescott to throw the ball 50 plus times a game. Not really for any quarterback. I mean, maybe Mahomes, but Mahomes does best when he has a strong running game as well, whenever they got things rolling. You look at Philly, strong running game. You look at some of these Super Bowl teams in the past, majority of them, maybe they didn't have the leading rusher in the NFL, but they still had a run first mentality to set up the pass and then chew them up. So that's what I'm seeing with Schottenheimer. But just listening to him, he comes from, some people don't know, most of you guys do. I mean, his father was an outstanding coach. I mean, arguably should be a Hall of Famer. And he had great success with Cleveland, great success with the Chargers, good success with Washington. He went to the playoffs almost every year. Now, he didn't win the Super Bowl, and that's ultimately how you're judged. He's the Dan Marino of coaches, phenomenal head coach, and he would be a surefire Hall of Fame head coach, but he never got his team to the Super Bowl. Just bad things seem to happen to him. As Cowboy fans, we understand it. It was, the 99-yard drive or the fumble going in to the end zone when that would have sealed the game. Just bad things happen to his father as a head coach, but it doesn't take away from the type of head coach he was and the type of person he was, and the players. Whenever you see LaDainian Tomlinson or Bernie Kosar or anyone talking about Coach Schottenheimer, it is just with nothing but the utmost respect and love. So you see that with Shotty, you see that with Brian, and it exudes throughout the locker room, and it'll exude throughout the organization. And I always said this team and these guys need to bond together and win in spite of the Joneses. And what I mean by that is they the Jerry Jones and the Jones family just create such a distraction, mostly on their fault, but some of it just being the Dallas Cowboys, that you've got to kind of huddle up, and it's got to be an us against them mentality. It's got to be a close-knit group. And you see that's what Schottenheimer is doing. He's getting these guys to buy into each other, hold each other accountable, make sure they're playing for one another, us against them. And that's the feeling I get in the early stages with Schottenheimer. So I've been pleasantly surprised. I was a little on the fence. I was unsure how this would work out, and would this hurt the Cowboys? Would this be a detriment, getting an inexperienced head coach to take over this team that's a veteran team with the pressure that they have? But the more I'm listening to Shotty, the more I'm thinking he's just what the doctor ordered for this organization, and more importantly, for the locker room, because the talent, we've always said, is there in Dallas. It's the outside noise, and can you control the outside noise? And it seems like early on, and listening to Shotty, that's what he's been able to do. Everything has been focused around football, getting these young guys in there, getting them prepared, getting the vets in, and seeing all the veterans showing up to the voluntary stuff, being around the facilities. That all bodes well for a positive, 2025 season. It better be positive, because we got to get things going. And I know, we do our live shows, and definitely, appreciate the chat is the best thing with our live shows. If you guys follow us and listen to us on Twitter, I know a lot of people are on X listening to our live shows. You come over to YouTube and be part of the chat. That's where the best conversation's going, because we're fans. We're fans that want to see this team win. We're fans that want to see the Cowboys successful. So there's a lot of passion with that. And there's a lot of, feelings. And I've always said, man, my view isn't the right view. It's just my view. Kelly has his view. Greg has his view, and the people in the chat, everyone has their own view. But the common theme that all of us have is we want to win, period. I don't go into the notion of rebuild. Those days are long gone in the NFL. There is no rebuild. It's just reload, retool. You saw what Washington did. You've seen teams that go from the top to the bottom. This team had a lot of injuries. And really, not only the injuries, I think this team was mentally fatigued. Everything that was going on with McCarthy. He didn't get a contract, and he was on a lame duck year, and all the coaches were on lame duck years. And then you had the old CD Lamb, holdout, and, then it gets done. It's just everything was just distraction after distraction after distraction. I don't really see that here. Now, we got Micah Parsons that is due for a contract extension. He's under contract, but, typically when that fifth-year option comes up, that's when they get things done. And so hopefully this doesn't drag out. They went ahead and got Booker signed. He was one of the first draft picks, which that isn't really the norm for the Cowboys. Usually that's kind of wait and see, but it's slotted, so it shouldn't. All these teams should go ahead and get their guys done, but that's done. So that's out of the way. So you see it's kind of a business first mentality so far, except for let's improve the football team and let's get ourselves one of those veteran receivers. It's that in case of emergency, because you've got the guys that were here last year and Jalen Tolbert, right? See what happens with him. And, we've been around the block with Brooks, and what Turpin can do. And, God, why am I having a brain freeze on our guy that we traded for? Geez, this is what happens on a Sunday when you enjoy yourself too much. Mingo, when you got Jonathan Mingo that you traded for, who was a highly touted guy, 2023 high second round pick, like the fourth or fifth receiver taken in the draft. He's got some ability, but you just don't know. So go get Amari, go get Keenan, and at least you've got a guy there that is a security blanket of, hey, if Mingo isn't the guy, then we've got someone that can help CD, can give him the help. Now, Ferguson needs to do his part because he was what we all thought would be that number 2 option. And he didn't do it last year, but this is a new year. Obviously injuries, this team was injury ridden. So I know a lot of people are like, oh man, this team they were terrible last year, but they won 7 games with nothing. So, I say they can win 10 games. So 3 more games with Dak Prescott healthy. I don't think that's too much. Now their schedule's harder, but I think this is a better football team than last year. I would argue that with anybody. I think this is a better football team. And I think Shotty, going back to him, is going to be the right coach for this football team. Is he a better coach than McCarthy? This is his first shot. McCarthy's a Super Bowl champion. He's been successful at his stops in Green Bay, and he was successful here in Dallas. They won 12 games 3 straight years. The only 2 years they didn't were injury plagued seasons. Didn't get the success in the playoffs, and ultimately that's what you're held accountable to. And to me, playoff success is I hold the players more accountable than the coaches. Now, I think the coaches play a big part of it, but I think the players have a say in it. I think the players, they're out on the field. They're the ones making the throws, catches, runs, tackles, and all this stuff. So I hold the players a little bit more accountable than I hold the coaching staff when it comes to that. But this team has got to elevate and got to take that next step. And just early returns tell me Shotty might be the right guy, and time will tell. But I'm feeling good about it. You guys tell me what you think. Are you feeling better about the Cowboys coaching staff led by Coach Schottenheimer? Are you seeing him out there more and understanding that he wants to be involved in every aspect of the game, but he understands he's going to be calling plays, so his focus is with the offense, but he wants to be in each group, at least letting those guys know, hey, I'm here. I'm understanding. I'm seeing what you're doing. Discipline is a priority. I want to see the penalties go way down. And that's going to be something to see. That'll give us a telltale sign. Look at how the penalties are going, but really the discipline of this football team. And it's all about discipline. A lot of their woes with the run defense can be fixed by scheme and discipline, not playing hero ball, playing in Eberflus's system and just staying within yourself and doing your job. So that's just my thoughts, man. My thoughts on a Sunday afternoon. Let me know your comments. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this coaching staff, in particular, Coach Schottenheimer. Are you feeling better than you were when it was announced? I know I am. I wasn't crazy about it when it was announced. It's grown on me, and the more I've listened to him, the more I've understood, the more I've heard his vision and philosophy and how he approaches the football team and his coaching responsibilities, the more I like it, and the more I think he's the right guy for this team now. So appreciate all the love. Hit that subscribe, hit that share, hit the like on your way out, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon live in the Cowboys Cave. So
give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.